I'm Lucky Man 19.
And this is Captain Hazard 26, and today we bring you our very first podcast from Hazardous Monkeys, and our subject today is
Suicide Squad.
and its cast, its history, its origins, and maybe we'll throw in our origins since this is the origins episode, or maybe we'll do that in a different podcast entirely. But first, let's get this cast out of the way. Okay, as you can see in the image, we have Jared Leto. Or Leto.
As a joke. It's
As a
Leto.
joke.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Leto.
What the fuck's wrong with you? It's
It's
Leto.
because of Mark Riley from fucking Schmoes Know and Popcorn Talk and all that good stuff. Good guy. I love his shit. But he kept saying Leto, and now it's fucked me up.
Look, anyway, I'm gonna ask the fucking cast.
No, okay,
Jared,
I got it.
Wait, I'm doing the cast, Brad. Fuck you. It's Jared Leto, who's gonna be the Joker, who did such films. Fuck you. Who did such films. Fuck you.
No, I'm doing it because you can't say her name.
I can say her name, Margot Robbie.
Before you used to say maggot because you fucking forgot the R.
I kept mishearing. I misread that. Let me do this cast. Fuck. Okay.
Fine, you do the cast. I'll do the character.
Okay, fine. Nice all over again, fucker. Jared Leto as the Joker, who, as you may have noticed, has been in some films. Was in fucking, what was that movie? With Matthew McConaughey.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. Fucking Margot Robbie.
I almost said Bias Dallas Club.
Margot Robbie from fucking Wolf of Wall Street is gonna be Harley. Will Smith, as you know, is almost in everything, such as in
he's not in everything. He ain't Sam Jackson.
But he's been some of the most famous. You may know him from shit like iRobot, fucking Independence Day, etc. Whatever. That's Will Smith as Deadshot. Got Tom Hardy as Rick Flag, who played Bane in Dark Knight Rises, who was also in the shit like Inception and stuff like that. I got Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang, who we may know from Spartacus, Terminator, the new Terminator movie, Terminator Genesis, as well as Good Day to Die Hard. And Cara Delevingne,
who's a model turned actress,
who's going to be in the new Peter Pan movie, Pan, by Warner Bros. Anyway.
And which is directed by Joe Wright, who directed her in Anna Karenina. And basically she's got like 5 movies coming out within the span of 2 years, so by the time this movie rolls around, people should know who she is. Okay. And she's playing the Enchantress. Okay, so basically going back down the line, we have the Joker, played by Jared Leto. God damn it, Mark Riley. We have Jared Leto playing the Joker. Now, the Joker, as we all know, is the Clown Prince of Crime.
The famous Batman villain.
He is the definitive Batman villain, even though Batman has great villains in his entire roster. The next to that, we have Harley Quinn, the Joker's main squeeze, and someone who has become a fan favorite, even though she was originally an animated character, who then became a comic book.
Well, she's been a fan favorite for like fucking decades. They've been wanting
decades. She was only created in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's been more. It's been like what, 2 decades? What, 2 decades?
Roughly.
Yeah, but however, fans always wanted her to be in the movie since the 90s, and Warner Bros was this close to putting her in one. But however, shit got mixed up. So now finally, she's going to be in the movie.
Yes. Next to that, we have Deadshot, who is played by Will Smith. And Deadshot, Floyd Lawton, is
an assassin, like a master.
Well, he's not an assassin. He's a mercenary, and he's a man who does not miss. And he makes it a point to never miss. If I remember correctly, he, in his youth, he accidentally killed someone because he missed, and he always made it a point from then on to never miss. And he also has this cybernetic eye that helps him. Well, it's not a cybernetic eye, it's more like a goggle that helps him sort of, see better and see at greater distances. The thing is, he is sort of a mainstay for the Suicide Squad because he's been there for almost every incarnation. There may have been 1 or 2 or 3 where he hasn't been in, but he is probably the most popular and the most well-known member of the Suicide Squad.
Again, also...
unlike, say, Harley, who's only been introduced recently.
Also, he is a master shooter, and also...
Sometimes he's played on Arrow, too.
Also, some incarnations, he could be very, dark and cynical, or sometimes he could actually be very charismatic and funny, which is why I like this casting of Will Smith, because Will Smith is one of the most charismatic actors in the fucking world.
Well, we'll touch on this more later when we talk about what they could potentially bring and which one of them could actually be redeemed.
Yeah.
Because I've genuinely felt that Deadshot is the only one out of all of these people that could be, say for Rick Flag, that could actually be redeemed. And speaking of Rick Flag, he's
Okay,
being
okay,
played
wait.
by
For
Tom
those who don't know the premise of Suicide Squad, if you guys just watch this for the first time,
Oh, we'll get to that
okay.
after. We'll get to that after. Let me just finish this before. Keeping it on the tangent.
I know we're explaining the characters. They already know who's the
If
cast.
people wonder why this is not a very professional production, it's because this is the very first podcast we've ever done, and we are siblings, and siblings are very well known to bicker. And we've been bickering before.
Hey, some siblings work together professionally. Look at the Wachowskis.
Yes.
They make movies together.
And they probably bicker too because they're siblings. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying, Rick Flag. Rick Flag is, well, he's one of two characters. There's Rick Flag Sr., who is not being played by Tom Hardy, but he was on the original Suicide Squad, whose purpose was basically, I believe, not to do suicide missions, but to basically check out, threats. Some of which were extraterrestrial, and some of which were mystical. I believe this is Rick. I believe who Tom Hardy is playing is Rick Flag Jr.
Now the question is, would Rick Flag Sr. be mentioned?
Who knows?
Okay. Hey, well, what the?
Let me finish.
I was trying to interrupt you. I just have questions. Okay.
Yeah, let me finish this fucking cast first. Anyway, with Rick Flag Jr. It's still going. With Rick Flag Jr., he sort of sees himself as, well, he, like his father, is a man of the military. I believe he's a decorated soldier. He sort of sees himself above everyone else in this group, and maybe rightfully so, considering the fact he's never committed any crimes, he doesn't have any homicidal tendencies, he's not psychotic, but I guess you could say he has a bit of a stick up his ass, especially since, like I said, some of these characters are not so irredeemable. But what, Brayden?
Nothing.
Can I finish this fucking characters?
I know. I want you to finish this fucking characters, but you've been
stop interrupting me.
I'm not trying to. It's just that you spend so much fucking time on fucking Rick Flag.
Because I'm trying to give these people a load on who these characters are. I'm still gonna probably do it anyway, from the research I did. I mean, I did so much fucking research. I might as well use it.
Yes, but the problem is time and patience.
Who cares about time and patience? This is our first podcast. God. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted.
Oh, fuck you.
I was on the warpath of, not the warpath, but the path of talking about irredeemable characters.
Rick Flag.
And this next one, this next one is Captain Boomerang. George Harkness, or Digger Harkness, whatever you want to call him. This man was introduced as, well, a dumbass character. He was literally a character covered in boomerangs on his shirt. I believe he was also written as a, well, mildly offensive character. Well, maybe not mildly. He was, from what I understand, outright racist. And he is the quintessential asshole, as it were. Considering the fact he doesn't mind watching people die, he doesn't mind killing people, and he has no love for any member on the Suicide Squad. Maybe he should, and who says that he should? Mostly because, well, why should he? He owes these people nothing. The only reason he's doing it is to shave time off of his sentence. Now, this character has been technically been played by two separate. This title has been given to two separate characters. Like I said, Digger Harkness is one, and his son, whose name escapes me, I believe his last name is Mercer or something like that. But his son also holds the mantle of Captain Boomerang, although he met his end tragically when he was fed to his zombified father. Don't ask me how that works. It just
the fuck. Okay, I know comic books and comic movies, they do some really fucked up shit. But when the fuck did he become a zombie?
Him, I believe, and someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was after his father had murdered Tim Drake's father. And that Captain Boomerang was fat, he was old, and he was really out of shape. And he ended up killing Tim Drake's father, and Tim Drake's father ended up killing him at the same time. Okay. And I think it was sometime after that.
Okay.
And now this last one, the Enchantress. See, I know more about Marvel's Enchantress than I do about DC's Enchantress.
Okay, for those who don't know, Marvel and DC, they're different, comic book companies that have the
I'm pretty sure people know that.
Yeah, but true, but they make great comic movies and whatever. They have different characters and different. Sometimes they ironically sometimes use the same name. Like in Marvel, with Spider-Man, Sandman is a supervillain, while in DC, the Sandman is a superhero, but different powers or whatever.
Are you talking about the Sandman as written by Neil Gaiman?
Yeah,
I don't think that's part of the main DC continuity.
But that's DC Virgo. But you know what I mean? How different companies
It's
use
just
the same use different characters.
It's not so much. It's not the same characters because the Sandman you're thinking of is the actual Sandman, the one that
Turns to sand.
No, that comes into your dreams.
Yeah, true. But
then there's Marvel Sandman is just literally a dude that turns into sand.
Anyway, with the Enchantress,
the only thing I know about her is that similarly to Marvel's Enchantress, she uses magic.
Yes.
And supernatural abilities, and people speculate that this is potentially her character is going to be potentially used to set up Justice League Dark, or at least the idea that the supernatural exists in this new film continuity.
But then, of course,
to me personally, I think she's going to be the expendable character, because for what people don't understand about the Suicide Squad is these are literally people who have a death wish, and they are not allowed.
These are criminals who have essentially all been in prison. If they want years off their sentence, they must do all these suicidal missions for the government.
But the problem is they can never go rogue. And the way to ensure that they don't go rogue is that they have bombs implanted into their brains.
So either way, you could potentially die, either on a mission or just trying to escape and not following orders.
Yes.
Now,
and
the reason why now, of course, the people are, I'm sure you're probably thinking about who the fuck would do this to them.
Well, there's a character called Amanda Waller. Now, some of you already may have seen her on, say, Smallville, played by Pam Grier. You've seen her played by Angela Bassett in Green Lantern. And I believe her name is Cynthia Robinson, who played her on Arrow, which also features a version of the Suicide Squad.
And she's going to be in this movie. But they haven't cast her yet, but they do have candidates. And one of the rumored candidates is Oprah Winfrey. The Oprah.
You get a bomb, you get a bomb, and you get a bomb.
Oprah Winfrey is a great actress, but she's so nice. She's so nice to realize. Yeah, it's fucking Oprah from the TV show.
I can't picture her saying something like "No one fucks with the wall." I could picture who is the other one? One is Octavia Spencer.
Yeah,
and the other one is
Viola Davis.
Yeah, I could see Viola Davis doing that
because she can play a hard character.
Yeah, she's got that hard.
But if they can't Oprah Winfrey, I like to see what people.
But seriously, Oprah.
It's fucking Oprah. People would be so interested in seeing how Oprah would be doing in a comic book movie.
Okay, so
now
we've basically established the origins of certain characters.
Now, have a Joker. Now, people don't know Joker is not on the Suicide Squad,
but he's
a side character. Now, Harley and Joker are like they're together, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like a fucked up relationship, but at the same time they're together. So Joker might be a side character. But this might be a joke. This Joker might be around for a long time because we had Jack Nicholson. We had, of course, the tragic Heath Ledger, and
that was a 20-year gap. And by the way, for those of you who haven't seen the picture, look up the picture that someone has done with, I believe it's their figurines, but basically look up the picture of Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger together as the Joker. It is one of the creepiest and coolest pictures I've ever seen in my fucking life.
It was a tribute to both of them, right?
But I believe so.
Yeah.
But it is fucking creepy. Basically, it's like a father and son portrait.
Yeah.
Where you have Heath Ledger sitting down in a chair, and you have Jack Nicholson standing behind him with his hands on his shoulders. And you would think, oh, there's nothing creepy about that, but look at the looks on their faces. It is fucking creepy.
Okay, anyway, Jared Leto. He's a fucking great actor and whatever, and of course a lot of people with this Joker, a lot of people saying if he is playing a side character or if he might be the actual antagonist to the Suicide Squad, or this might be the first time Harley and Joker ever meet, like in a mission or something. But at the same time, I just really hope they don't kill him because we need Joker for the Batman movies.
First of all, they already made that mistake. DC and Warner Brothers. And we'll talk about the DC divide. Well, not the DC divide, but the Marvel divide in our Marvel topics when that comes up. Because we are going to do this again, but first we need to see how this goes.
And the only reason why we're doing this is because news broke, like last week?
Last week.
And people we follow, like AMC Movie Talk, Schmoes Know, and some people like Jeremy Johns. They talked about
even, Collider.com actually.
Talked
Just a
about
shout out to Frosty,
the editor in
and
chief.
the editor in chief. His team broke the news that Margot Robbie was going to play Harley Quinn
weeks before it was confirmed by Warner Bros.
Yes, and I think it was like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, shout out to all of them, and they've been on it. They've been the ones who said, you know, they've been looking at Will Smith, they've been looking at Jai Courtney, they've been looking at Tom Hardy.
Collider is a very trustworthy source, and of course, it's not
Yeah,
been
in this day
by...
and age, where we have news sites that basically do, you know, clickbaiting. It's like, oh, confirm such and such is going to be this, and such is going to be that. When there is no confirmation, there is no official word from anyone involved in the project. Collider has been the one to be on the scene. However, there have been times where they've messed up, but they've admitted to their fuck ups. They haven't tried to, you know, sweep it under the rug or anything. They've admitted that they've made mistakes, either by updating their articles or writing a whole new article with that update. So
Collider is a pretty trustworthy website. It's one of the only few you can trust, or one of the only very few websites you can trust online.
Although, if you want,
of course, they do show their sources, and Warner Bros. Website have confirmed this entire cast.
Well, they don't show their sources, but they do say that they have their sources.
Press
they
release,
trust their sources,
yeah. And it's been confirmed, and the movie's gonna come out in late 2016. I don't know what the month is, but like August. No, not August. Like late in that.
This is. Yeah, it's right after Batman v Superman, I believe. Well, maybe not right after.
But it's like a few months after.
It's in the same year as Batman v Superman.
And people who don't... Okay, the person who is writing and directing this movie is David Ayer, who done such films as SWAT. And this year, he recently released a film that he wrote and directed, Fury, with Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Logan.
We haven't seen it, but we've heard good things. Just like we haven't seen Sabotage, but we've heard bad things. But to be fair,
we did see SWAT. And even though he did direct that, he wrote that, and people like that movie.
I do like SWAT, and I do like what he did with, you know, what was it, Training Day. I like Training Day. I like Street Kings. Basically, all around, I like this director.
And this guy has a pretty good track record. Yes, he has made some very good movies.
Decent, yeah.
Yes. However, Brad, you see most of his movies. I have not seen Training Day, but I heard it's like a great movie of Denzel Washington.
It's a pretty good movie. Yeah, well,
I have not seen that movie, but based on what I've seen from Dave Ayer's work, from what he directed, from what he written, he has a very, not dark tone, but he has a very... I mean, how would you describe it? I can't say.
I hate using these words because they get used so... They get used so much.
Maybe defined. How about like a dark and defined tone?
It's more grit. There's grit in his films.
Okay,
he's not afraid to get dirty. He's not afraid to go to certain places. The reason I hate saying those words is because they get used so often and they get used in the wrong context.
It's becoming cliche. It's becoming cliche.
Not so much cliche. It's just getting fucking annoying. But we'll talk about that another time. Basically, for a movie like this that is presumably going to be extremely violent, especially given how some of these characters kill their opponents or even their targets.
But I think this movie's going to be PG-13.
I mean, there's only one other director that I could have seen directing this, and mostly because of the level of violence, and that's Alexia Alexander, who directed The Punisher and Green Street Hooligans, and she's really good at getting violence.
I like Alexia Alexander, and I like her films, but she's doing great horror movies. However, I think it's even PG-13.
It can't be.
Why?
You can't do a movie called The Suicide Squad and have it PG-13. And the reason for that is quite simple. But like we said before, they got bombs implanted into their skulls, into their brains. And they're going to kill one of these people, just to set an example of them. They did that in the animated film. I mean, yeah, with the first kill they did, his head exploded, but there was no blood. But later on, there is lots of blood. And I cannot see someone like David Ayer, who mostly does rated R films, making a PG-13 film. And this is actually where they may be able to get one up on Marvel, for those who are keeping track of this sort of thing. They may be able to get one up on them by having the first rated R property in a shared universe.
Okay. I mean, because Warner Bros., they have developed rated R movies. In fact, they were developing many rated R superhero DC movies. At one point, they want to do a rated R Green Lantern with Quentin Tarantino. At one point, they want to do a rated R Batman with Darren Aronofsky. But however, stuff didn't pan out. So that's why I didn't think a rated R superhero or property or film based off the DC property ever come to existence. But with David Ayer, you do have a point. He's been known to make rated R movies. But the question is, would Warner Bros. Allow that in this new
I would.
cinematic
I mean,
universe?
because you got a fucking guy called Deadshot, who was one of the world's greatest marksmen. You got a guy named Captain Boomerang, who literally takes people's heads off with fucking boomerangs. He makes them go boom, he poisons them, and whatnot. And these people have no... A lot of these members don't have a strong moral compass.
Yeah, because
Especially
some
Boomerang.
fans say that, or of course some people say that they don't want to see the Hollywood bullshit of the bad guy turns good. Or if you are going to do it, make it make sense.
But speaking of, you bring that up.
Yeah.
Like I said, only Deadshot is redeemable in that factor because in some cases, from what I've read and from what I've seen, in some cases, he only does a lot of what he does to protect his daughter from himself and from the life that he leads. And that is a powerful motivation to be redeemed for a loved one. Also, the rest of them, they don't have that.
Okay, fine. Sure. Okay, fine. Deadshot does seem a bit of a redeemable character, but the thing is,
well,
if there's a daughter, I don't think they might mention her, but I don't think they're not going to cast
her. Will Smith.
Will Smith. Well, it is Will Smith. Will Smith is playing Deadshot.
Get Will Smith. I know. I just lost a whole lot of people by saying get Will Smith. I know you guys hate his kids. And I don't know why. And I know you think they grew up in privilege, but let's be honest. If we were in his position where we had that much money, I think we'd spoil our kids too.
And plus, they're nice.
Oh no! No one said that they weren't nice kids. They just find them annoying and overprivileged.
But however, okay, with Will Smith being Deadshot, I
know this was supposed to be a Suicide Squad podcast, but let's talk about this for a second. Let's be real.
Talk about. Okay, wait. But before we get to Will Smith, you were just talking about Captain Boomerang, and how before.
If they did it like how they did in Arrow and the crossover that they just recently did, where he did kill people, but there was no blood. I guess I can sort of see the PG-13 aspect coming into it, but I don't want that though.
But the happy PG-13 movies where there's like a lot of blood, like in the wounds or something.
Yeah, but not splatter. And come on, there's going to be situations. They need to be put into situations where their main reaction should be, "Oh fuck."
Hey, PG-13 movies do have F-bomb. They have F-bomb.
One. No, because that's a situation.
No, actually, Transformers. I'm just giving you a point. Fucking Michael Bay's been known to make rated R movies. And of course, in his recent Transformers films, he's been doing a lot of F-bombs. But of course, obviously said, no, it's only one because the movie Association of America only allows one F-bomb. True. But if you look back at Transformers 3, there's actually 3 F-bombs that people didn't notice. When fucking, it's Transformers 3, when fucking, Leonard Nimoy's character, fucking Santa Prime, when he dies, he mutters the word, "Oh, fuck." You had echo of the word in robotic voice, "Oh, fuck." And also, when fucking John Malkovich, he talks to Bumblebee, and he says, "Fucking awesome." And people thought that was the F-bomb. But kind of, sort of. But there was another fucking F-bomb. And like fucking Shia LaBeouf, he's mouthing the words when he's get the medal for the president.
Does not count.
But he says, "What the fuck?"
Well,
let's watch that movie.
Let's get the hell off of Transformers, okay? Because
that's something for another day. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to make a point that there's a way to swear. You can swear a lot in fucking PG-13 movies, and plus, they can do F-bombs.
Yeah, but the instances you mentioned, you can't really hear it or they're being mouthed, so they don't count.
True.
I'm talking flat out hearing someone say, "Fuck."
They can put one F-bomb. I can imagine.
Honestly, if we were a motion picture right now, the MPAA would have classified us NC-17 with all the fucking fucks we've just said.
Well, what about the South Park movie? That has a record for the most fucking swearing of all time. What did that get?
I know.
They didn't get NC-17. They got rated R.
That was a joke, dickhead. I know.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Okay.
See, can't you just feel the love, audience? Can't you just feel the love between me and my brother?
Stop being a fucking asshole, okay? Let's get back to this shit.
It's called sarcasm.
Okay.
Learn it, love it, live it.
Okay, look. How long have we been recording? Jesus Christ.
Jeez, we're more than 25 minutes in.
Okay, let's make it like a fucking sitcom. Half an hour, okay? Let's try to keep shit under half an hour.
Okay. So, overall impressions of this cast and these characters. I gotta say,
it's fucking good.
Yeah, it's a very good cast.
Yeah.
Now, there's one discrepancy, or maybe not discrepancy, but there's one thing I actually want to pose to you, audience. Why do people feel the need to shit all over Jai Courtney? Now, I admit, has he been in great films? Maybe not. But I've always found him to be at least
Strong.
Yeah, strong, and he is a lighter point. Look, I didn't watch all of it, so maybe the last bit of it is just absolute shit. But from what I saw of the fifth Die Hard movie, he and Bruce Willis, while both of them look bored, they are at least trying, which is more than I
No,
can say
actually, when
for
I
some
watched it,
people.
okay, I saw a Good Day Die Hard, most of it. However, okay, I watched, of course, the old Die Hard films, which have been good. Like, the first ones, I did
One
not.
and three are
Okay,
one
okay.
is the standard. Three for me is the best.
Okay, I watched the first one. I loved it because it's fucking Die Hard, right? The second one, I was fucking bored out of my fucking skull. Literally, that movie was not. That was probably probably one of the least good, or perhaps one of the most terrible Die Hard films. Now, however, I saw Die Hard 3. It's fucking fun. Got Samuel L. Jackson and all that shit. And also, I saw. Of course, I like a good Live Free or Die Hard, and also some Die Hard fans did like that. But I was P13. If you wanted to be rated R. However,
To me, okay, you bring up 4.
Yeah.
With 4,
Yeah.
it's basically a one man going up against the odds, just like every other Die Hard. It is a Die Hard movie. It just didn't have Yippee Ki motherfucker.
It did happen.
No, it didn't. They tried to have it twice. But something always happened before he could say motherfucker. Either he got shot or he shot himself.
Okay, but to me, a good day. To me, Live Free or Die Hard. Live Free or Die Hard. That wasn't bad. It was actually a pretty good, fun movie. But I can see as to where fans thought that was the down point, the turning point to where it was going to go down shit. And then, was a good day to Die Hard. I heard a lot of bad shit about it, but I didn't want to watch it. But at the same time, I was questioning myself. Wait a minute. If you guys hate it, this is a rated R movie. It's grossing so much money. It's the highest grossing film in the franchise. Why do you guys keep watching about it if you guys hate it? Well, of course, a lot of people say, well, look at the Transformers films. True. But, and then when I watched a Good Day Die Hard with my dad, now you and I both know that Dad is a Die Hard fan. He's been there since the franchise started.
Well,
and
I would say he's a Die-Hard fan.
But he knows the films.
Yeah, he knows it. He'll watch it, and he loves them, especially 3.
And how we saw. Now, we did see the very beginning, but we saw the point where McCain landed in Moscow. It was on HBO. And then he just does the shit with his son, whatever. And my dad saw the marketing, but he wasn't very interested. But once we saw the film, and by the end of it, and also he watched all the Die Hard films, and however, he didn't hate it. He actually thought it was actually very decent. He thought, because, I have to admit, I saw did have some perks. But at the same time, I also realized that, yeah, it did look fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, it had very...
Well, to be fair,
it just
I like the stunt that they did, where they jump out the window and they land on the ship.
Yeah, that was a great sequence.
But it doesn't really make sense in a Die Hard movie.
However, with Jack Courtney and Bruce Willis in that film, you fucking...
He does kind of look like he could be Bruce Willis' son.
However, they do have a father-son relationship. However, because essentially, what people didn't realize from the film, at first, people, because Die Hard fans says they don't want him to take over the torch for Bruce Willis yet, because he hasn't really grown out of his area and whatever. He just seems as his character Jack McClane doesn't seem as fun as John McClane. Okay, fine, I get that, but at the same time, essentially, this movie was a bonding mode between Bruce Willis and Jack Courtney, father and son, and they did convince me that he was Bruce Willis' son in this film, and he actually did deliver very touching. Sure, it was very underdeveloped, like between the two of them.
Like I said, some moments they just look like they were bored to be there.
But I don't know, that was characters because they felt exhausted. I mean, I would too, going through all that action bullshit. I mean, like, God, I gotta dodge bullets, I gotta dodge explosions. Fuck, I just want to relax with my piss, and I'm gonna be pissed at my father.
But no, it's like, yeah, I don't get it. I've liked him since Spartacus. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's almost like the same thing that people get on Arrow with the character of Sarah. I didn't know people fucking dislike Sarah. See the thing. Well, I guess it had more so to do that she sort of came back and, after all this time, it's like, where the fuck have you been?
Okay. If you guys been hearing us talking about Suicide Squad, you've been hearing us talking about Arrow, Go watch Arrow. That's one highly underrated show. That's one.
Well, look.
It's
The
on
thing
Netflix.
is with Arrow,
It's on.
some of you are gonna like it, some of you won't like it, because some people have sort of turned off from watching it because he's sort of become the Batman figure of the television universe on the CW. And I kind of get why people do that. To them, Batman is Batman. Everyone should stop trying to be like Batman. And I agree. But it works for Oliver Queen or Arrow on Arrow because of the bullshit he had to go through.
And people don't know, talk about television universe. Okay, the creators of Arrow decided to make a spin-off show called Flash, and this Flash and Arrow do crossovers and do talk to each other. Well, and they're making a TV universe. Now, for those of you who don't know, with TV and with film, it's very separate. Warner Bros. DC confirmed it. I also like to make a point, and this is actually kind of funny. On Arrow, Deadshot is played by a white boy. On film, in the Suicide Squad movie, it's being played by Will Smith, a black dude. So they're just trying to make it so separate to where they're played by different.
And Captain Boomerang in the TV universe is played by Nick Tarabay, I think is how you say his name. He's a Lebanese actor, where they actually did get a fucking Australian for the movie in the form of Jai Courtney.
He's a white boy, and also why
you gotta keep bringing that up?
Okay, I try to make a point. Try to make it completely separate.
You realize you're a white boy too, right? If only partially.
True. Because you and me, Brandon. For those who don't know us, you guys might have seen our reaction videos to trailer reactions.
Shameless plug.
Yes. Just go check our channel and go watch those videos.
We're
brothers. We're brothers, and we're so mixed that we don't even look the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, you're probably thinking, "Oh, your brother's just more tan than you are."
No. We have a mixture of Polynesian, European, Asian, and I believe and Native American blood.
And
so
it's just fucked with our shit. Okay.
We're very mixed.
Yeah. And people don't think we're brothers, but we are.
Yeah. Some people don't think we're related.
It's kind of fucked up for our dad because our dad looks white, but however, we come back from Hawaii. We're from Hawaii. I have all of his fucking aunties, his uncles, his mother, his father, his siblings. Some of them look fucking
dark.
Yeah, because they're Polynesian. And Dad's Polynesian too, but he doesn't look it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about us. We'll talk more about that later. But anyway,
I hope you guys. We've been going about this for half an hour.
But because there's a lot to talk about. I mean,
I hope that in this half hour we at least convince you to check out this movie.
Or at least to check out this cast.
Or check out our channel.
What I want to talk about in closing is what I expect from all of this. Ultimately, I want a good movie. I want a fun movie. I want a movie with action. Because this is a cast and crew. First of all, this is a good-looking fucking cast.
Not gonna lie.
And a lot of these people have action-based backgrounds. At least as far as the films go. Their films go. Sorry, I can't fucking English today. Anyway, what I ultimately want is a good time, a fun time, and all around just a good film. I also do not want fucking Joker on the Suicide Squad because that just doesn't work. He is not someone who is a team player, despite the fact that he can have minions. He has Harley. And whatever, but the whole point of him is that he's just like Batman if Batman went crazy. Well, more crazier than he actually is. Because let's face it, a man dressed up as a flying rodent on his weeknights is a crazy man. He's a fun crazy man. He's the crazy man that we will all strive to be.
This is closing. Wrap the fuck up.
Fuck you. Anyway, see, you made me lose my train of thought. But ultimately, yeah, just make sure that this is fun. Although I should caution people, as much as I like Will Smith, there is a high probability that between now and filming, he may leave.
What makes you think that?
I don't know.
If you sign a contract, because they said they're all signed on. It depends on the contract negotiation. Maybe he can't quit. Because look, let me bring up this point. In some past DC films, they have Warner Bros. Simply made deals to where. For those who know, Tim Burton was meant to do Superman was back in the 90s, and he signed this deal so where no matter what, whether he made the movie or not, he will be paid $10 million.
That's just his normal contract though. That's not.
Yes, but true. But that means either way, if he wasn't gonna make the movie or not, he would never. He would still get the money.
Yeah, and but it's a player pay deal. Also,
another point I was bringing up back in the early Batman films between before Batman Forever and after Batman Returns. Marlon Wayans was meant to play Black Robin. Because he quit, because
He
he turned
didn't
it down,
quit. They
Warner Brothers keeps giving him residuals for thank you for not playing Robin.
No, that's not why he gets paid. He had a similar deal. But the thing is, it was just to a lesser extent. But it wasn't so much that he quit. They just didn't want to use him. Yeah, they figured, oh wait, let's get a different person to play Robin, but let's keep paying him so we don't get shit. But yeah, basically, okay. Here's my thoughts. A small thought on the DCU.
Closing?
Shut the fuck up.
I don't get to my closing.
Basically, this is a small thought on the DC universe as a whole. Batman v Superman, which we will talk about later, is the launching pad for everything here. And but the Suicide Squad will show if DC has staying power or not. Because let's face facts. Batman v Superman is going to make money simply for the fact that Batman and Superman are finally in a live action film together.
Back to my point around movies. If this movie is real, I know it's still going to make money because of the fact that look at the last Batman films. They make $1 billion each.
Not each.
Yes,
Batman Begins did not make $1 billion.
Yes, but Dark Knight made $1 billion. Dark Knight Rises made $1 billion.
I know they did. I know that.
I'm trying to make a point. If it was rated R, I bet you, perhaps all the parents, perhaps these other parents will take their kids to watch it.
Why would you make an R-rated Batman film?
No, R-rated. If this was R-rated, I know half of that audience.
I don't know. I mean, because look, maybe this could be DC's Guardians, because this is a property that's not really well known outside of comics, just like Guardians.
Look, financial, but I already point. Business-wise, I can understand why they want to make peace with King because they realize they want to expand the market. But if they make it rated R, do you know if they wait, pause? It might work. PG-13. But let me make a point. If it does make rated R, then that shows DC is really going fucking out there.
Well, of course they're fucking going out there. Look at this cast. My God, this is swinging for the fences and hoping they hit something. Of course they're going out there. They've gone out there by casting a rock star who took 6 years off to fucking make music, a fucking still relatively unknown actress who made a splash in The Wolf of Wall Street, an actor who is really fucking good, but has a problem with signing onto certain projects that would have really been good for him and putting his kids in movies where they don't belong. Then getting an actor they've already worked with in a completely separate cinematic universe. And getting an actor who is not really getting a whole lot of love from people online. And getting a model who technically we don't even know if she can act. They had taken a huge fucking risk with this cast.
Yeah. But it's a great fucking cast.
I know, but still it's a risk.
Bold, riskful, maybe, but it's so fucking great. And look, if we're fucking close, if we're going to wrap this up, because I know it's over 30 minutes.
I finished. Why would we care? We should just keep going until we run out of things to talk about.
Look, yeah, but however, it's about to be 40 minutes. I don't want people to be fucking exhausted with watching our shit.
In closing.
If you guys not exhausted with our shit, if you guys like our shit, please comment and let us know if you want us to go longer or go shorter. Please. However, in my closing, I think it's going to be a kick-ass movie. I think film is going to start soon, like a few months by now. And yeah,
in Canada or something like that. Yeah.
However, I think this movie is going to do very well, no matter what. And I just hope that people. I just hope it's a success. I just really do. And if it's not a success, I hope they still keep these actors.
Yeah,
because these actors are great actors.
Yeah, ultimately, look, I don't believe in this Marvel versus DC bullshit. Ultimately,
even they said they don't.
I just want good films
from either side.
Yeah, if we get good movies, that's all I care about. I don't care about this bullshit of, who's better, Marvel or DC. I'm not going to lie. Marvel is killing it with their fucking cinematic universe. But DC could easily match them because they have great material to do so. They just need to implement it in a way where everyone believes it. And they have a plan. And I hopefully, finally, at Suicide Squad, I think it's going to fit in this fight. I think. And also, there's also another point I have to bring up. And I'm not even sure if he's in the cast. That's the reason why I don't want to bring this up. But Jesse Eisenberg, who's going to play Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman, which we will talk about in full in a different video. But he's been rumored that his character is going to be in this movie, and they've been negotiating for him to confirm. They are talking to him again in this movie. So that says to me that this is going to take place after Batman v Superman, or during, and somehow it's going to connect and merge. When was this confirmed that he was being looked at to be in Suicide Squad? Oh, it was like
perhaps a few weeks right before Jared Leto, his
His
negotiation was coming out. But however, they still haven't got Jesse Eisenberg signed on yet because he wants to wait till Batman v Superman is done. But however, if they want his character to be in this movie, that means that this Suicide Squad will play a large role after Batman v Superman. So people will watch this movie after Batman v Superman to see what the fuck is gonna happen. And I hope people do go check out this movie. And I hope you guys did like our first ever unprofessional, fucking free will talking swearing bullshit of a podcast. And
hopefully you don't consider us unintelligent, degenerate, belligerent assholes.
but then again, the internet is full of fucking trolls and full of fucking insulting motherfuckers. And now, in my closing, I think you both agree that we're so interested in the movie. I hope you guys are interested in this movie. And I hope you guys go check this video. I hope you guys like this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, whatever. Please just check out this movie. Please check it out.
And let us know what you would like us to discuss in the future. But I can guarantee that we will talk about Marvel. We will talk about the greater DC world. And we'll just talk about
whatever the fuck
films in general. I know for sure we're going to do one on Star Wars.
Yeah, when that comes out.
Whenever that comes out, we'll let you guys know. So follow us on Twitter. We don't have our own page yet, but my brother does have his own. Well, you know what?
Well, I post videos to my Twitter, so for all you know, you guys actually might be from Twitter watching my shit.
So yeah, but anyway, so keep a lookout for more videos in the future.
Okay.
This is Captain Hazard 26.
I'm Monkey Man 19.
And this was our very first podcast.
For Hazardous Monkeys.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
And goodbye.